The World War II began in year 1939. Battles broke out across all of the continents except for Antarctica. During the 6 years of war, two parties emerged in China, the Nationalist and the Communist. The leader of the Nationalist Party was Chiang Kai-shek, and the leader of the Communism Party was Mao Zedong. Chiang and Mao had completely different thoughts about the future of China. The conflict between those parties in China eventually led to what's known as the Civil War in China. The Civil War in China was a war between Kuomintang and Chinese Communism Party. Kuomintang was created by Sun Yat-sen after defeating the last person who wanted to be an emperor in Chinese history, Yuan Shikai. After defeating him, Sun gained control of the southern part of China and created the Republic of China, which later became Kuomintang. Sun created Kuomintang with one goal in mind, and that is to unite the whole nation under one single party. This became the fundamental doctrine of Kuomintang even under Chiang's rule. The goal could have been easily achieved, but the emergence of Chinese Communism Party completely hindered, to a degree, threatened the Kuomintang from completing their goal. After the May 4th movement in year 1919, a lot of new knowledge and new concepts flowed and spread in Chinese population. One of these concepts was Marxism, the basis of communism in China. Using the new concept, Chen Duxiu and Li Dazhao founded the Chinese Communism Party, and Mao Zedong became the first leader of this party. The Chinese Communism Party was not created with a goal like Kuomintang did. Instead, it followed the basic doctrine of Marxism and gained deep support from all the people who was being ruled by this party. This obviously hindered Kuomintang from gaining support from Chinese Communism Party's supporters. Even though Kuomintang had a lot more members than Chinese Communist Party at the time, around 50,000 to 1,000 respectively, with the growth of power of Chinese Communism Party, in year 1927, Kuomintang started to show their hostility towards Chinese Communism Party. Chinese Communism Party, though an underground organization at the time, built a rebellion army, which would eventually become the only army in China we see today, the People's Liberation Army. The Civil War broke out in April of 1927. Due to the difference in numbers of members between Chinese Communism Party and Kuomintang, Chinese Communism Party was quickly defeated and surrounded inside their base in Jiangxi. With a spy of Chinese Communism Party reporting with info of Chiang's plan on attacking Chinese Communism Party, Zhou Enlai, the leader of Chinese Communism Party who replaced Mao temporarily, was faced with two choices. They either stay and defend their base and possibly be completely eliminated during the process, or they abandon their base and find a way to break out of the encirclement. Zhou chose the latter one. The Chinese Communism Party was split into several parts and evacuated from Jiangxi, with Red Army, the former body of People's Liberation Army, staying and distracting the Kuomintang troop temporarily before finally evacuating as well. The Chinese Communism Party force marched westward and started what is known as the Long March. The Chinese Communism Party force was split into three armies: the First Red Army led by Mao, the Second Red Army led by He Long, and the Fourth Red Army led by Zhang Guotao. After exactly 1 year and 4 days and around 10,000 kilometers of traveling, the three Red Armies rejoined together in Bao'an, Shanxi, and the Long March ended in success. However, among the 100,000 soldiers who joined the Long March, only around 7,000 of them survived. The party member reduced from around 300,000 people to only about 40,000 people after the Long March. There were so many reasons that took away the life of soldiers of the Red Army: fatigue, shortage of food, extreme temperature on top of the Kunlun mountain, as well as the non-stop bombing delivered by the Kuomintang every day. Despite of all the hardships Chinese Communism Party has been through, Mao and Zhou, who would later become the chairman and vice chairman of the Chinese Communism Party respectively, survived. After the Long March, Chinese Communism Party rebuilt the Red Army and recuperated their power and the Civil War paused. After the Long March, Kuomintang did not achieve what they intended to do. that is to unite the people under one party. Instead, during the Long March, they were not very nice towards the local citizens of various cities they stayed in while they were chasing the Red Army. Thus, the people grew in anger and hatred towards Kuomintang, thus ending up supporting the Chinese Communism Party even more. In year 1939, World War II broke out and Chinese Communism Party was obligated to join force with Kuomintang in order to defend themselves from the Japanese invader. After the World War I ended, the Civil War continued, and it ended in year 1950, with the Kuomintang being defeated and driven into the island of Taiwan. This allowed the Chinese Communism Party to establish the People's Republic of China on October 1st, 1949, maintaining the development of China until today. During the war, Mao had a style of mind over matter in his everyday life. This style of doing things passed on and can be seen in later events in China such as the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution. The Chinese Communism Party also derived from its original Marxist doctrine, becoming a party that was supported by everyone who was being ruled under it. The doctrine and the condition of the Chinese Communist Party we see today are all part of the legacy that was created and left behind from the Civil War and the Long March. History is a furnace, forging the will of people together with a leader through the clash of leadership. The result will be a sparking piece of legacy shining down the river of history, forged with our ancestors' blood and wisdom to be seen today by the whole entire world.